Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're zeroing in on Mobile Suit Gundam, the origin.
Right.
Specifically, one character who gets a major upgrade in this version, Crowley Hamon.
Oh, absolutely. The origin doesn't just retell the story, it expands it. And Crowley, she's way more than she appeared initially.
Exactly. She becomes this really central figure, almost.
Yeah, her backstory, her motivations, it's all laid out.
So that's our focus today, just the Crowley Hamon from the origin. We've looked at official sites, wikis, fan forums, blogs, even IMDb, kind of pulling it all together.
The goal being to really understand this version of her. Who is she in origin and, why does she matter so much here?
Let's dive right in then. Her personality, what jumps out first in the origin?
Well, the descriptions often use words like tomboyish and notably dynamic. You get this sense of energy right away.
And her job, right. Singer at Club Eden in Munso.
Uh-huh. Which sounds like just a job, but think about it. Pre-war Munso, tensions rising, a popular singer in his central club.
She'd hear things, know people.
Exactly. It gave her influence, connections, probably access to all sorts of information. It wasn't just entertainment. It was a platform.
That makes sense. And then there's her mind. Sources call her devastatingly brilliant, strategically.
Yeah, and we see proof, like planning the Deikun children's escape.
Yeah.
That was complex.
And much later, that attack on the Gundam almost succeeding with what? Not much to work with.
Right. A Zaku and a Magella attack tank. Shows real tactical thinking. Makes you wonder where she learned that.
And her loyalty, it's complex too, isn't it?
Very. Obviously, the deep bond with Ramba Ral is there. It's iconic.
Yeah.
But the origin really brings out her friendship with Estrella Deikun, Zeon's wife.
Ah, right. So helping Casval and Artesia, the kids.
It wasn't just for Ral. It was significantly driven by her connection to their mother, Estrella. Adds a whole different layer.
It really does. Shows this protective streak, not just for Ral and his men, but for Estrella's legacy, kind of.
And she's tough. Described as someone who doesn't take crap, acts with pure confidence.
You see that when she takes charge of the escape, and definitely later, seeking revenge for Ral, that sheer determination.
Okay, so these traits, how do they translate into skills? We mentioned Club Eden for social access.
Right, the platform.
And the strategic brilliance is clear. The escape plan, the Gundam ambush, that's high-level tactical skill, especially adapting with limited resources.
And her connections must have given her access to, resources, maybe even intel. Ral, Estrella, maybe even people at the club tied to Munzo's defense forces.
It's implied, yeah.
Yeah.
Tachi O'Hara, Clamp, they helped with the escape. She had a network.
Any hints of, physical combat skills beyond the strategic?
Sources mention things like quick with a kick, maybe infiltration or disguise skills. A bit vague there, maybe.
Okay.
But what's undeniable is her piloting that Magella attack and her final assault. She wasn't just directing, she was in the fight.
Got it. So her history in the origin. She's established in Munzo before the war really breaks out.
Yep. Club Eden, right in the middle of all the rising political tension. Zeon's independence, the Zabi family's maneuvering. She's observing all of it.
And then the key moment, UC0068, the escape of Casval and Artesia.
Crucial. Driven by that friendship with Estrella, working with Ramba Ral, Jimba Ral, Tachi, Clamp, it's a major turning point she helps engineer.
And she sticks by Ramba Ral through his political trouble.
Absolutely. When he's sidelined, then brought back into mobile worker development, she's right there supporting him.
Loyalty again.
And then, during the one-year war itself, the origin manga shows her actively with Ral's unit hunting the white base.
Not just waiting back somewhere.
No, she's involved, which leads tragically to her reaction after Ral's death.
That final attack.
Fierce, tactically brilliant in its own way, using everything she had, but ultimately fatal. Stopped only by Rio Jose's sacrifice in the core fighter.
Wow. Okay, so relationship. We have to talk about her and Ramba Ral.
Oh yeah. Fans call them the best war couple, a model, a 10-10 ride or die.
Power couple, right.
Totally. Built on trust, mutual respect, they complement each other's strengths. It's portrayed as this really solid, supportive partnership amidst chaos.
A very human element in the story.
Definitely. But we also need to remember that bond with Estrella Deikun, it's not just a footnote in origin.
It really informs her earlier actions, her protectiveness over the kids.
Yeah, her concern for Estrella seems genuine and is a key motivator.
And her place within Ral's unit.
Respected.
Yeah.
Not just the commander's partner. She seems to have her own authority, offers support to the men. They look up to her too.
So, wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway about Crowley Hamon in Mobile Suit Gundam? The origin.
I think it's that she becomes this truly complex, intelligent, and deeply loyal character. She has agency. The origin gives her story real weight.
It fills in the gaps, explains the why behind her actions in a way the original series just couldn't.
Right. She's not just reacting, she's acting based on her own history and
It
connections.
makes her story much richer.
And maybe the final thought for you to consider is how Hammond represents a different kind of power. It's not military rank or political office.
Its influence.
Yeah, influence built on personal relationships, intelligence, and sheer force of will. It shows that making a difference, shaping events, it doesn't always come from the traditional seats of power. Her deep connections and convictions were her strength.
Influence beyond the uniform, driven by personal ties. That's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.